My partner, a 29-year-old female, and I, a 31-year-old male, have been together for 3 years. We moved in together 6 months ago, and I was excited to build a life with her. She's thoughtful, funny, and incredibly caring, especially when it comes to her dog, Max. From the beginning, I knew Max was a huge part of her life. She rescued him 4 years ago when he was a puppy, and they're incredibly bonded. She's the type who refers to him as her baby, and has always been upfront about the fact that Max is family to her. When we decided to live together, I didn't think twice about Max coming along. I've never owned pets myself, but I like dogs, and I knew how much he meant to her. What I didn't realize was how disruptive he would be, particularly at night. Max is a small, hyper dog who has always slept in her bed. At first I thought it was sweet. How could a little dog take up that much space? But the reality is that Max is like a tiny, furry wrecking ball. He doesn't just curl up and sleep, he burrows under the blankets, paws at me if he's restless, and licks my face at random hours. He snores loudly, and if we so much as move in our sleep, he growls and shifts around as if we're disturbing him. I've always been a light sleeper, so this quickly became a problem. The first few weeks I tried to tough it out. I bought earplugs, tried white noise machines, and even went to bed earlier to make up for the interruptions. But nothing worked. I was waking up multiple times every night and struggling to fall back asleep. I started noticing changes in myself. I became irritable and snappy, which isn't like me. My work performance started slipping because I was so exhausted, and my social life shrank because I didn't have the energy to do anything outside of work. Worst of all, it started affecting my relationship with my partner. I brought it up gently at first, suggesting we train Max to sleep in his own bed or crate. She immediately shut it down, saying Max would never adjust because he's too used to sleeping with her. I didn't push, but after a few more weeks of sleepless nights, I brought it up again. This time I asked if we could try keeping Max out of the bedroom entirely, thinking maybe he could sleep in the living room or a designated dog bed. She refused again, saying it wasn't fair to Max. She argued that he would feel abandoned and wouldn't understand why he wasn't allowed to sleep with us anymore. She also said it wasn't a big deal and suggested I just get used to it because it's been her routine for years. Last week, after another sleepless night where Max woke me up 3 separate times, I snapped. I told her this wasn't working and that if she wasn't willing to consider any other options, maybe it was time to think about rehoming Max. I didn't say it to be cruel. I said it because I don't see another way forward. She was horrified. She started crying and accused me of being heartless. She said she could never rehome Max and that the fact I even suggested it showed I didn't care about her or her feelings. She told me that Max has been with her longer than I have, and that if I couldn't accept him, maybe I shouldn't have moved in at all. Her words cut deep. I felt like she was dismissing my needs entirely. I know she loves Max, but I'm her partner and I feel like my health and well-being should matter too. I told her I felt like I'd been as accommodating as possible and that I'm running out of options. She snapped back, saying I was being selfish and unreasonable, and even suggested that I should sleep in the guest room if I can't deal with Max. Now I'm at a loss. I love her, but I'm starting to resent both her and Max. It's not just about sleep anymore. It feels like she's prioritizing her dog over me and refusing to compromise. I'm exhausted, frustrated, and honestly questioning if this relationship can work long term. I know rehoming Max is an extreme suggestion, but I feel like I'm being pushed to the edge. Am I the a-hole for asking her to consider it, or is she the one being unreasonable for refusing to meet me halfway?